Bam. Cheers, everybody. Welcome back. And I wanted to talk today about why you might be feeling tired right now. Why you might be feeling like you're in a slow season. You're in that slow living, slow life season, in that phase. And everything in this world, in this universe, exists and is subject to the principle of rhythm, the cycles and seasons. Whether it is our earth with all the seasons that we have, fall, winter, turns into spring and then summer, or could be our hormonal cycles. It could be our moods. It could be, you see this when you look at a chart of the stock market, when you look at anything, any of these things, you see things go up and down. The same thing exists obviously for our energy levels. And in the current state of everything, first of all, it's fall. So, it's raining outside. You can see the rain on the windows. A lot of us might be subject to some seasonal affective disorder, or, feeling less energized because of the seasons. I myself have been a little under the weather lately. It could also be that you've been working. You've been putting in the work. You've been doing the inner work. You may also be doing the outer work. You may have been focusing, and you may have been doing a lot and using your energy in a very focused way. Now, we look at people and we see all these people online and people that we know and we hear about, and public figures that are able to accomplish so much. Entrepreneurs you may look up to, or influencers, or whoever it is. And it seems like they never have this burnout. It seems like they just keep going no matter what. But the thing is, we are only exposed to them when they're in a state of high energy. We don't see them when they're exhausted at the end of the day. We don't see them when they are taking time for self-care or doing whatever it is that they need to do to get back up again and fight another day, so to speak. And sometimes some of these people they may be extroverts. They may be getting energy by being out in the public and doing things. We're all unique. We all need to honor our own individual nature and what gives us energy, what makes us feel rested and ready to, again, begin that next phase of conquering, of high energy, of getting stuff done, making stuff happen. So it's kind of like also when you go out and you party really hard, it's like the next day you're inevitably going to be hungover. You're inevitably going to feel this lull in your energy. And so it's important to realize that that's also a part. That's also, if you're tired right now, maybe it's showing you that you actually, it's maybe a reason to congratulate yourself because you have been doing what you said you were going to do. You've been doing the work. You've been showing up. Another thing is that it could be preparing you for receiving your greatest blessings, because a lot of the times, periods of lots of growth are, again, permeated with these cycles. It's very unlikely, and it's very, it doesn't happen very often that you see a big trajectory, like a hockey stick type of growth, whether it's in a company or in somebody's personal life, that's sustained over a long period of time. It's a lot of the time it's followed by these lulls, and then it goes up. And once it has the lull, then it has the chance for that exponential growth. So one way you can interpret this right now is that you are on a path where the universe, source, God, whatever it is that you want to call it, infinite intelligence, is preparing you for your winning season. And I posted a recent video just recently, I think it was last week, about entering your winning season. And when you begin to interpret the events of your life through this lens, it's like, how is this serving me? How can I use this to my advantage? How can I use this time right now that I'm experiencing of maybe it's a slower time right now. Maybe I'm in a phase right now where I don't have as much energy. Maybe I'm in a phase where I haven't been as social. Maybe I'm in a phase where I've been feeling a little bit more isolated. How do I use this to my advantage? Because some of the greatest minds, the greatest thinkers of all time, have gotten their best ideas when they've gone through these phases where they've been in a hermit type phase. They've been practicing monk mode, practicing ghost mode. And when you begin to understand this and utilize every situation that's happening to you for your benefit, that's when you become like a wizard. That's when you become like an alchemist. and you become impervious to these cycles and seasons, the pendulum that swings with the rhythm between these two polarities, that's when you exercise your power over your reality, because you are now above this pendulum, and you can, regardless of the situation, use it to your advantage. There's many different ways that you can do this too. There's many different ways that you can kind of play mental ninjutsu with your mind, or use some Jedi mind tricks on yourself to show yourself that all of these situations, which your mind may have a pattern of interpreting negatively or unfavorably, into how this is actually working in your favor. One affirmation that I heard recently, and I think I dropped this on a recent video, is like, all of this, everything that's been happening is working out, is leading me to a timeline where everything works out. It's all working out for me, for the best, for my highest timeline, for my highest self. And you can also use humor. You can use things to joke about things. You can exaggerate. There's a principle in comedy called agree and amplify. It's the idea of yes and. It's like, yeah, I'm tired, and that's because I've been cooking up in the lab all these different things that I'm working on. Or yeah, I've been waking up late because I'm a spoiled brat, and that's just, I just get what I want. Things just come to me easily without having to do any work, without having to exert so much effort. I still get things that I want. Even if I'm feeling tired or lazy or sluggish, that's just more proof that my mind will come up with the ways to get me what I want without having to do as much work. I mean, there's just a million ways that you can play these mental mind games with yourself to really look at things through this lens where you're seeing the things through the rosy colored glasses. You're seeing through this kind of way of interpreting things, which is just a boost to you instead of being detrimental to your self-concept, your self-image, your self-talk. Becoming aware of your self-talk is one of the reasons that I post about robotic affirmations too, because your self-talk is a perpetuating cycle. If you think that, and you're looking at some outside circumstances and using that as proof for why something isn't working, now you are engaging with that aspect. The devil and the angel on the shoulder. Now you're talking to the devil on the shoulder instead of looking at the angel on the shoulder. And when you focus more on your angel, your guardian angel that's looking out for you, and you even give him or her projects, and you tell him or her to look out for you, you give this up to a higher power. You say, okay, now God's going to sort this out for me, or now the higher power is going to sort this out. Now you're also engaging mentally in a way which is going to serve yourself rather than beat down on yourself. If you use the comparison and checking the 3D as this stick to beat yourself with, you're not practicing your self-talk, your internal dialogue in a way that's productive and positive for you. You're doing it in a way that's becoming counterproductive. So we always want to become aware. We always want to practice this awareness of what is going on in our internal environment. That is to say, not only our thoughts, but our feelings. In all these spiritual teachings, they talk about how our thoughts are not our own, and our thoughts can actually be deceiving us. Well, what's interesting is that because our thoughts and our feelings are a feedback loop, our feelings can also deceive us. We don't always, you want to trust your intuition, but your feelings aren't always your intuition. Your feelings can be part and parcel with these negative, dark thoughts that you're having, these intrusive thoughts, and you're feeling all these feelings of anxiety and stuff. And that's not necessarily even warranted. You might go outside and think there's a burglar outside because a cat was rustling in the leaves, and your feelings are telling you fight or flight. They're pumping cortisol or adrenaline through your body, but your feelings can also lie to you as well. And that's one thing that I don't hear very many people talk about. You don't always have to honor your feelings. If your feelings once in a while might not be right, I know that might ruffle some feathers and make some people feel a type of way by me saying that, but we have to use our feelings and our rationality together to redirect our focus, redirect our energy in a positive direction. And it's up to us to do that. If we are constantly allowing the 3D to enforce a certain way of feeling, enforce this certain way of thinking, then we're not in control anymore. We're simply allowing our external 3D reality to inform us, and that's not when we're not manifesting anymore. We're not controlling, we're not programming our reality anymore. We're allowing ourselves to be programmed. So do you want to be the programmer of your reality, or do you want to be the programmed? Do you want to be the person that's writing the code and showing exactly what you want and directing the script and the movie? Or do you want to be an actor that was told, no, you have to do this way? Your film is going to end up like this. It's going to be a tragic film instead of a happy one, or instead of a heroic tale. You're going to be met with a tragic ending. It's up to you constantly, moment to moment to moment, to make these choices. So with that being said, when you are experiencing less energy, when you're feeling lethargic, when you're feeling not up to 100%, that's when it's your time. That's when it's your duty to practice this. This is like you're being called to engage in this muscle of your mind, this muscle of your, just the same way when we go in the gym, we practice. We face resistance training. We pay to go to the gym to encounter this resistance. It's the same way. You should be grateful when you're feeling these negative things sometimes. I know that that's easier said than done, but it's offering up an opportunity for you to look at things through a different lens, for you to see the positive in the situation, that you're recuperating, honor yourself. The same way that when you go to the gym, athletes used to believe that overtraining and going to the gym for hours every single day was going to work. And then we came to find out through studying nutrition, through studying physiology, through studying and looking at the muscles, that was not giving our muscles a chance to actually grow back. What we need is that period of rest after we go to the gym. And it's the same way with our mental state. It's the same way with our energy. We need to cultivate that restful state and appreciate that, and allow ourselves that grace, so that we can come back into the gym and be stronger the next time. And the same way here, when we come back the next day and take on the day with this empowered mental resilience that we've cultivated through our own inner work. Anyways, guys, much love as always. Drop this with a like, hit me with a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.